Alright, hey, what's going on everybody? This is just a little video live and uncut like I usually used to, back in the day. I'm just gonna give it to you live and direct, man. Just my feelings from the heart to the world, man. That's how I'm feeling tonight. It's been a tough year for me, man. Like last year I found out I have all these crazy blood tests, blood disorders and hormone imbalances and all this crazy stuff that I have to worry about. And now I found out this last week that I have Lynch syndrome. So that makes it even better. So now I have to get even more scrutinized and tested even more frequently. So it's just a crazy way to live. Oh my God, that spring. It's just been. I mean, by no way am I complaining, because there's people that have it way worse than me. I totally understand, but I just want to live a normal life, man. I want to live normally. I want to have a life that's like everybody else. I want to have a normal core of regular friends to hang out with. I want to have a relationship. I want to have it all, I guess, you know what I mean? And I guess what God's trying to teach me lately is you can't have everything. You can't. The way that your body's built right now, and the way the stuff that you've got to go through, and the stuff that you're facing, isn't fair to put on someone else. You know what I mean? And I started thinking about that maybe about an hour ago. When I really started praying about it, I started thinking about it. And there's a reason. I mean, because I can't keep striking out for for no reason at all. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't keep like this. I mean, I had a plan this weekend, right? I'm not gonna name names. I don't want to talk about put her on blast, but it was with a girl that I met. We started talking, and things were really cool, man. Like we were, like chopping it up, and everything was, she was like really letting me get all of that stuff out that I like to talk about, like a lot of that spiritual talk that I love to do, and she was reciprocating, and she was challenging me, and she was even asking me for Bible verses to read, and I was like impressed. I was like, dang, like, this is a cool chick, like. And so I start planning, and ladies, I don't know if you really understand this, but like planning a first date is probably the worst thing you could probably do. And I'll tell you 2 reasons off the top of my head right now. 1, I don't know a thing about you. And 2, you're expected to deliver. You're expected to be on point 100%. You're expected to not only somehow magically know what this person's interests are and keep conversations going. Like I've been on dates before where it's just dead silence if I don't talk. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, you gotta bring a lot to the table, man. You gotta bring your A game. I mean, it's tough. It's tough dating in general, man. Like, but being that bachelor, you know what I'm saying? Being that dude that's out there. I know you feel me on this. When you put a lot of effort and emphasis on something, and you're looking forward to something, and then that person bails on you in the last possible minute, and then they want to blame it on work or whatever, and then you're just like, okay, well, when are you available? And then we start getting into this conversation about, oh well, maybe not now. Well, I'll see how things go. Like, ladies, if someone comes up and you can't make a date that a dude is planning or whatever, like, throw them something, throw them a bone. You know what I'm saying? Like, say, I appreciate the invite. I hate to do this to you. I promise I'll make it up to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what a real woman does. You know what I'm saying? Like, none of that shit from this girl, man. Like, just like, oh, I'm sorry, and see, that's when I started getting to the point of like, okay, well, if you don't want to see me this weekend, and you're just gonna leave an open-ended schedule, I could see the writing on the wall. I could see it. You know what I'm saying? I could see it a mile away. I'm not stupid, and I just want see, because this is what happens. You go in, and then you wait another week or whatever. You're still texting, talking, or whatever, and then you're still keeping that hope alive. You know what I'm saying? That spark. You're trying to keep that spark going. And if that other person isn't interested, why doesn't she just say she's not interested? And I've had a lot of interesting perspectives on this. I've talked to a lot of my female friends about this, and they say, well, we just don't know what to say. We don't want to hurt somebody's feelings. So I'll tell you what, I'd rather know up front. If my efforts are being wasted. If I'm talking to somebody and I'm thinking that things are headed somewhere and they're obviously not on your end, but you're not telling me that, then that's fucked up. I'm sorry to use that language. I usually don't like to, especially on this channel, but it's messed up. And I've got to be the dude that eats crow, you know what I mean? And I hate that. And so that gets me to my next point, man. Like, as you can see, I've gained a lot of weight because of these steroid pills that I have to take. And if I don't take them, I die. My doctor put it to me in those simple terms. Because this water and on a cellular level, what happens if you're adrenal insufficient, which I am, my pituitary gland is not producing what's it called? It's not producing testosterone, and it's not producing it's not creatinine. I'll think of the other one. What the heck is this stuff called? I've been taking it. Cortisol. Cortisol. So I have to take hydrocortisol, which is a steroid. And I've gained 30 pounds. No joke. In 3 months. And I've lost 5 of it back because I've tried to diet and walk and trying to stave off this plague that's hit me hard, but I can't do anything about it. It's something that's literally life-saving, and if I don't take it, I die. And I get looked at like I'm a fat slob, you know what I mean? I had a girl tell me that I was late, that I was fat and lazy, you know, like that kind of thing. Like, that shit hurts, man. It really does. Even like, I talked to my doctor about it too. I said, what if I went to the gym, and what if I, like, you know, hit the treadmill like for 2 hours a day? I mean, would I lose? And she said it doesn't matter, because this is more powerful than any exercise you would have to run yourself into exhaustion. And with the way that your testosterone levels are right now, that's ill advised, because you could literally send yourself to the emergency room pretty quickly doing something like that. And if I don't hydrate myself, I can also end up in the emergency room. It's fucked. It's fucked. I mean, it's like I'm gaining all this weight. I can't do anything about it. But I'm looked at like I'm some slob that doesn't have any self-discipline or any control. And it's unfair. It really is. Sorry, it hits me hard, man. I don't want to be like this. Believe me. I don't want to have to take all these pills and these steroids and all this. I don't want to. I didn't choose this. But I have to accept it. And I just got to keep going. You know what I mean? That's the whole thing about it. I got to keep going. I got to just not act like it doesn't exist, but I need to not let it define me. I had some asshole tell me that I'm letting my disease, like, because I talk about myself all the time, and he's like, you're letting it define you. No, you know what? If anything, I'm bringing awareness to people, showing them what they could possibly be facing in their future if they're not careful and if they don't get themselves screened. And you know what? Like, medical knowledge is the most important thing aside from you know, knowledge from the Bible. I mean, knowing medically what's going on with your body, like, how can you say that that's defining me? Like, it's not. I'm letting it define me. Nah. I'm actually liberating myself from the control of it. Because I could sit here and be depressed about this. I could sit here and wallow in my sorrow all day long. I could do that if I wanted to. I'm a professional at that. But, you know, the thing is I don't know exactly how to say it to people. You know, what do you do when you're at a disadvantage and all you've done is take a medication that's saving your life? And I hate to say it, but I think that if I wasn't in this physical shape that I'm in now, I think that girl might have been a little more motivated to come and visit me and hang out. That's what sucks, man. You know, and I know people are gonna say, "Oh, you don't know that." I have empirical evidence here. I know a lot of guys that are not too great to women, not at all. But they go to the gym all the time and they're jacked guys and they look good. You know, they're they're playing the game. You know what I mean? And they don't seem to have any problems getting past that threshold that I seem to be stuck at. And you have to say, okay, well, there has to be some physical attractiveness. Okay, well, I get it. I get it. I understand. I feel like a mutant sometimes. I feel like I don't belong. Like, everybody around me is a certain physique, and everybody around me is a certain way, and I'm like the one that's obese, and I'm like, that's a fucked up word, man. That is a fucked up word. And I know people could say, well, why don't you try and do something about it? And I just explained why I can't. But it goes in one ear out the other. People don't understand. I could pull up on my phone, and show you. I've been trying. I've been trying to work out. Just the monster that is this medication right here, man. It's saving me, but it's killing me emotionally. So let me just go back to what I was talking about initially, though. Imagine being a girl and being thrust into this kind of a world, where you have to make sure that your significant other is taking his shots and taking his meds and doing all this stuff, and dealing with his insecurities and the mental health that I'm dealing with too, and dealing with anxiety and all that stuff. Maybe I shouldn't put somebody through that. Maybe there's something to that, and if I want to get really honest with myself, maybe I'm not really ready, and maybe that's what God's trying to tell me. And see, this is why I like these sort of videos where I could just talk. This is just my thoughts from the heart, man. No filter. I'm not jump cutting nothing. I'm just recording and uploading. I don't care. Because I know that there's people out there that feel like me. I know that there's people out there that are hurting bad. I know that there's people out there that are dealing with confidence issues, that there's people that are dealing with body image issues, that are dealing with depression, dealing with anxiety, dealing with PTSD. I mean, I'm here. I'm right here with you. And that's the ugly face that us in our society, we don't talk about. We're in Instagram, everything is a highlight. Facebook, everything is happy. And those who talk about negative things are crying for attention or seeking some sort of attention. Which is funny because a lot of people that are accusing people of doing that are going through stuff themselves. Nobody's perfect. That's the thing. We're all human. We're all going through this together. We're all here together on this planet that God graciously made for us. And we're sitting here arguing with each other all the time. arguments all the time. I mean, where does it end? I'm hurting. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, my ego's hurt. You know, my pride is hurt. I guess every guy wants to believe that his shit doesn't stink, and you know that every girl wants him and all of that, but that's not the case. I know. It's just hard when that reality is reinforced every day of your life, and it's hard when you're looking through the mirror and you're seeing somebody that you don't recognize. I don't recognize myself. That's why I started growing this beard out. I don't like this chin, you know. I feel ugly. I feel who among us can say that though? Well, everybody can. I've met some women before that are models, literal models, and think they're ugly, and I'm like, you're freaking beautiful. Like, how can you call yourself ugly? And then they point at this other girl that has a bigger butt than she does, and it's like, who cares? Like, that you are extremely beautiful the way you are. Why would you look at anybody else and try to be that person? And that's one reason why I'm not really stressing too much about this thing. But I do feel like it mean sometimes. I feel like I don't fit in. I don't belong. You know, I feel uncomfortable taking my shirt off, and I feel uncomfortable being in a situation where, even in a tank top, where I'm exposed, and you know, I feel like everybody in the room's looking at me like, what the fuck is wrong with this guy? And it's just like, I want to, like, kind of correct them, be like, listen, this is why. This is the reason why. I wish. It's like, don't you wish that I looked like you do? You know what I mean? Like, I shouldn't say wish. I don't wish like that, but I mean, it would make my life easier if I was to drop maybe 100 pounds. I would be back to where everybody else is, and that's what's fucked up. Is I used to be there. Back when I was younger, I was 125 pounds. On my driver's license, on my first driver's license, it says 130. I'm like, wow. I was a skinny little kid, but I felt weak back then. I don't feel weak anymore. I feel like I'm strong, like I can lift things, and you know, I'm not a little stick figure. You know what I mean? So I guess there is a good side to all of this. But I don't know. I'm not gonna get depressed tonight. I'm gonna be happy. But I had a verse prepared. I don't know where I guess I'll read it from here. It's from my favorite prophet, apostle, Peter. And this is in 1 Peter 3, 15, I believe. Hold on, let me see. Sorry. There's lots of lots of text to scroll through here to get to the verse I was sharing. Oh, where the heck? But anyways, it says, you know, be ready to you know, it says try you know. Oh man, I really wish I can get this verse up. I've wasted so much. I should have prepared this. Damn it. Oh yeah, here we go. Okay, it is 1 Peter 3:15. You probably got there before me and read the verse before me, but sorry. It says, "But sanctify the Lord your God in your hearts, and be ready always to give an answer to every man that asks you a reason for the hope that is in you with meekness and fear." And I think that that's an incredible verse right there, because it proves to us that we're weak humans. We're weak and feeble creatures. Like, Peter's putting that out there. He's saying, people are going to look at you and they're going to say, you guys are just as messed up as everybody else. So why are you so happy? You know? Like, where's this joy coming from? And he's saying, obviously, the joy comes from the Holy Spirit. It comes from God. It comes from our... Because I feel like that's what has been missing in my life recently. And maybe God, like, the closer that I get to others, the further I get away from God. And the further I get away from God, the more insecure and weird I feel. So if I have to choose between having a relationship or having a relationship with God, you know, I obviously would like to intertwine the two. Like, see, that's why my main goal in looking for a girl right now is looking for somebody who loves God just as much as I do. Somebody that can understand what I'm talking about when I'm talking about scripture, and can reciprocate and can test me and put me on the spot and keep me accountable. I mean, that's what I want. I want somebody who is just as zealous, just as zealous as I am, you know, when it comes to God, and if not more. And I know people could say, well, just go to church and find that. But then I'm not going to go to church to go hook up with girls. You know, that would ruin my entire reason for going to church. And I don't want to do that. I don't want church to become the hookup spot. And if I meet a girl at church, okay, I understand. That's a fair point. But I'm not going to I'm not going to make Sundays, I'm not going to think in my head when I go to church on Sundays, like, oh, I'm going to meet a girl at church on Sunday. You see what I'm saying? I go to church to worship God. I go to church to listen to the pastor. I go to church to have fellowship with my brethren, you know, that I've been sorely missing in my life recently. Maybe that's why I feel lost. I haven't been going to my Bible study. I think that's what John would say. No, lucky John. Good guy. I mean, John's kind of guy that would argue with me. Tempers flaring, going back and forth, you know. But still give me a hug. Tell me he loves me. Tell me he's happy to see me, you know. Every morning he texts me and says, "Hey, how you doing? Bye, praying for you." He's a good man. A very good man. But, I guess I need to get closer to those guys. I need to stop chasing after these stupid girls and just go straight for God. Who cares? Who cares if I don't have a relationship? Who cares if I die alone? At least I'll die happy. And you know, I think that Jack Hyles, his pastor, a long time ago, I talk about him a lot. I know he said something that, like, I would rather live hungry and in need of food in the will of God than full and live with plenty outside of the will of God. And just think about that for a minute. Like, you know, I talk about the path of righteousness a lot. I talk about, you know, looking at the world and being set apart. And maybe the reason I'm set apart and feel like immune isn't because of my weight. Maybe it's because of my faith. Maybe it's my spirit. Maybe my spirit just isn't compatible with this world. And that's why I should be proud, actually. Because maybe what I'm talking about is actually working. So I'm gonna wrap it up tonight. By the way, I bought a drone and I lost it today. I was using the little, you know, flip buttons and stuff, and I was having fun messing around with it, and I was just about to hit the return button, and the freaking wind took it just. And it started to fall like a rock in the middle of the street. So I hit the throttle up. And then it started to go into people, like, into the cars. And so I said, so then I hit it really high up. And it went into some tree. It went into on top of a roof. I don't know where it is, but it's been raining. It's gone. I wrote to the company. Hopefully they can send me a new one. I've heard of them doing that before, so hopefully they can do that for me. But this has been another interesting video, live, uncut. And I want you guys to know that I love every single one of you. If you stuck it out to watch this whole thing, I appreciate it. I know I'm not the most charismatic person in the world, and I know that I get depressed and I'm flawed just like everybody else. But you know what I have? I do have hope. I have hope that the future is good. I have hope that there is something. I know I joke a lot saying I'm gonna die alone, and so I don't know. There's gotta be somebody. There's gotta be somebody in this world that appreciates me for who I am and will look at the things that I do and say, oh, I appreciate that, and not look at it like a bad thing. So I'm gonna go ahead and sign out here. It's been a fun night. You guys have a good one and stay up, and God bless you all.